Hi, good morning. Today I'm Benson again. Today I have something I want to share with you regarding atoms of an element. Okay, presently many countries are still working very hard to come up with the vaccine for the COVID-19. And also they want to do trial tests on human. But the COVID-19 is a virus that are ever changing and have yet any confirmation on the vaccine that are able to stop this virus. From the CNA news, mentioned that there are no vaccine available for also SARS and MERS. The only way now for us is to learn how to manage our own health until there's the vaccine available, or we just follow what we have learned, what we have understand about our improving our health, enhance our immune system, and follow the instruction that are given by our leaders and from the WHO that we need to wash our hands frequently and also wear a mask if we are going out from the house or get in a group there's a lot of people around. So how do we make sure that our immune system are well and healthy, right, and in good shape so that when we are out or with out there in the marketplace or at the office where the new normal is now in place. The new normal is able for many people to gather, but we are responsible for ourselves, for our health, and also for others. Globally, the confirmed case of COVID-19 is coming 11 million, where fatal rate are almost 500,000. So the virus that we cannot see, cannot touch, are out there. And many people are fear of if they are contracted or infected with the virus. Recently, I read an article that in India, hospitals, some hospital, I would say some, I'm not sure how many, but hospital will be installing ion generator, especially for their ICU and for those ward that have too many patients, too many COVID-19 patients. This ion generator is a generator that emit ion, or I call it atoms. All right, that we human being, especially the negative ion, that we is where we get our health from. Because what I understand, ions or atoms is actually the basic smallest element that build us up, that we are built upon on. Human being body are built from many huge masses of ions. So, but these ions are living ions. All right. So, India hospital want to do that, but these ions are actually function or needed an electric current to generate a system that changes or break down the element into even smaller parts, where you can have positive and negative ions. All right, this will prevent, especially the negative ion will prevent or stop the virus from increasing in number or mutate itself, so that we are able to be healthy. And in just 2 weeks ago, I saw an advertisement from Siemens, the company that manufacture mattress, are launching their new negative ion mattress. And also Nippon Paint are introducing the first and ever virus guard, ion, copper ion they uses in the pain to kill virus. So with these new things coming in this day, I went to do some research reading that realized that negative ions are actually in our environment, but the amount or the volume, or I use the word density, around in the environment are not enough. Even we, our human being, our body are able to produce negative ion, which I call it antioxidants, are not enough, because in a developed country like Singapore, we are living in a concrete jungle. We are not living in 50 years ago that we have a lot of trees and we less concrete jungle like us like that now presently. But we are not able to bring back that environment because we are a developed country. We want to be in a better environment, but in a better environment, we changes our environment to cause human being to have a weak immune system in our body. And even though there is many hospitals around, it does not mean we are healthy at all. We are only suppressing our illness or the chronic disease that we are now facing. Disease like cancer, stroke, high blood pressure, many more diseases that we never heard of when we are 50 years ago to people who are as young as 30. We only hear it maybe a percentage to me, the percentage, maybe only 10% of people will have cancer when at their old age. But now cancer is even as young as 30. And people just leave the world, which they actually do not want it. They want to live long, to have time to spend with their family, with their loved one. So what I want to say is, we have to find a method to keep us from losing the opportunity to live to at least an old age of 80 years. And presently, there is no possibility. Just 2 weeks ago, I heard a friend that his working colleagues left this world while he was asleep. And the result turned out is that he had a heart attack when he sleep. So it's not possible for him for anyone, because he's staying alone. So when that happened, no one is around there to help him or call for help. I also have a friend. When we are at age 30, he leaves this world within 24 hours. And there's no doctors can tell the family why he left this and what is wrong, what is the illness that caused him to lose his life. So he's only 30 and he left this world. Is it good or is it bad? It's up to individual how they feel. Some may think it's good because he don't bring worry to, if he's a family, his family will be hurt. But what about his parents? He left nothing behind. He's not able to care for his parents then. So at present moment, with the COVID-19 pandemic, many lives are gone. Why? Because many do not believe that this virus is affecting people in such a big volume of human beings, and many lives are gone. And it is too quick, too fast to spread, that we are not enough time. We have no time and we have no knowledge of the virus and how to stop it. We're still doing research to find a right vaccine to help the human being. But there is a time, there is method to help us. If you hear from all the government, all the expert, all the professional, that it is our immune system in our body that will be helping us. We must find a way to help us to stay healthy, stay strong, and learn to stay safe. Okay, and why the recent introduction of ions for us human? Because this is a natural way that human being needs to keep us healthy and strong, enhance our immune system, if you have a method to do that. So today I want to share with you what I have read, what I have gained reading up information, and it helped me to realize that, yeah, there is way to have these ions that a human being need, which is very important. And because it takes time, and so it's as early as we can understand, we can acquire and have such ability. Why do we want to start late? Why not we start as early as today? So let me share with you, starting with the title of today's topic that I have arranged, have made in this presentation, is the atoms of the element. Okay, today I have brought this title, what is an element of the element? Atoms of an element. So an atoms, what is an atoms? As I know, atoms is something called a particle that's so small, so fine, that even our naked eyes cannot see. But if many or high density of these atoms, we are able to see and we are able to touch it. Okay, so what is an atoms? An atoms is the smaller constitute unit of ordinary matter that constitute to a chemical element. A chemical element, like every solid, every liquid, every gas, every plasma, is a composite of neutral and ionizer atoms. Atoms is extremely small, typically around 100 pico across, which is the size of, you taking the equation of 1.0 times 10 to a power of minus 12. How do we read? As a technical person, we read from 0.0, there's 12 zero before we see a 1. That is so small, all right? That we may not see it. If you look at if you watch the movie called Ant-Man, he's so small. He able to go into quantrums of elements, so fine, so atoms, I would say, that you see like virus, germs, bacteria within the atmosphere. An atom is fundamental, a piece of matter. An atom itself is made up of 3 tiny kind of particle called subatomic, which is proton, neutron, and electron. Whereas proton and neutrons make up the center of the atoms called the nucleus, and the electrons will only be described as flying around above the nucleus in a small cloud. So it's like something, our solar system, the sun is in the center of our solar system, where Earth is circling around it. The Mars, Jupiter, all these planets are circling around the sun. The sun is the nucleus, which consists of proton and neutrons, whereas the rest of the planet in the solar system are electrons. So what you see on this picture is this, similar to our planet of a solar system. All right. So an atoms, our structure consists of proton, which is positive, and neutron, there's no charge at all. They are bound together within the nucleus. They can't move any further out of a nucleus. But the electrons, which is negative charge by itself, are circling around the nucleus with the closest ring, closest planet, I would say, near the nucleus, is only have 2 neutrons orbiting around the nucleus. And if there is a second or third ring, etc., a maximum of 8 neutrons, 8 electrons will be circling around it. And atoms, if there is an electrical charge to it, it can be changed to negative charge or a positive charge. Our human body, to my surprise, are made up of 90% of the mass of atoms of 6 types of element, important element, which is oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, calcium, and phosphorus. And only less than 1% of another 5 of elements, which is called potassium, sulfur, sodium, chlorine, magnesium. All these in total 11 elements are so necessary for us, human, to be alive. Without any of these elements, we may not have life, or we may not be in a normal condition that we can breathe in air, we can eat, we can walk, we can move. So if there is shortage of such element, that means we are abnormal. Okay, it is so unique that we are a creation of the Most High above that give us life through dust. To some people who read from the Bible, God creates us through dust to create the first Adam and the first Eve. Okay, so we have a brain, we have lungs, we have stomach, we have blood vessel, bone, joint, muscles. All these are a combination of all the 11 elements. We are creation of all these 11 elements. Because all these 11 elements comprise of matters and energy is both electrical. Simplified to say our heartbeat is an impulse, it's also a signal. We move a joint, it's a signal. And these are called electrical energy. And when we heard of a heart, it's actually a chemical combination of few elements. So this function or this feature of human being able to move and have life is actually like a plant who needs sunlight to process or generate energy. The process is called photosynthesis. We still need the sun to help us to be alive. But the sun have something called ultraviolet light. Okay? That it's not good for our skin in certain time. It's so strong that we need to not stay under sun for a long period of time. So the human being body is organized in different level. This level is starting from a cell. A cell is like an atoms. All right, a cell itself have a nucleus, and whatever surrounding the nucleus is actually electrons. Okay, and the cell, if there's a lot of cell, massive of cell, will organize into tissue, and tissue will form organ. Organ itself also have to organize into organ system, such as skeletons and muscular system. So our cell, there's a question where I read in somewhere that when we die, what we do, we actually decay and we actually become dust. And this dust will carry on to build other cells again. So a neutral atoms or a neutral cell will have equal number of proton and equal number of electrons. When this is neutral, that means they are at rest, not so much energy needed. This cell is actually neutral. But if this cell is not stable, that means there is different number of electrons to a different number of protons. So if this cell is actually, if loses an electrons from its atoms or from the cell, it actually become positively charged atoms, or we call ion. So if a positive ions is called canton, all right, so it's plus. And then if the atoms have shortage of electrons, and you gain that electrons, additional electrons in its atoms or neutral ion, it become negatively charged ion, which is called anion. Both positive and negative ion are around us or inside us. Okay. We will come to that why there is positive and negative ion. So if an atoms, I put it simple, an atoms loses an electrons, it is positively charged. And if an ion receive additional electrons, it will be negative charge. But when these two atoms, if they are able to bond together because of this function, one need to give away another electron, one need to receive an electron, it is called chemically bond elements, and they can form many different type of elements. Example, our water. Water in its chemical form is called H2O. H2 means two chemical or two ions, two hydrogen ions, because hydrogen in the periodic table is only have one electrons, whereas oxygen in the periodic table, you have 8 electrons. If we go further and understand ions, 8 electrons is actually for oxygen, is not stable. You need 2 more electrons to make it stable, and these 2 electrons will happen to be hydrogen atoms. Then they form together, they call water atoms. That's so fine. But in order to see water, there is trillions of H2O bonded together to form water, where we see and we drink it for us when we are thirsty. So this is called a periodic table. Okay, it is from this periodic table, there are many new elements are found or formed. Basically, it starts from hydrogen and helium. You can read more how to read a periodic table of an element, and you will understand why there is many new elements are formed because of hydrogen and helium. And oxygen itself is actually take many years of atoms collision, of chemically bombing or crashing with each other, that oxygen is formed. Oxygen is not a matter. It's a non-matter, and there are gases, noble gases, and there are rare earth matters. So you can see on the right, Na, it stands for sodium. Sodium in its atomic form, there are 11 electrons in these atoms. Because having individual electrons, it is not stable. In order to be stable, you need to give away 1 electron to any other atoms. And in here, it happened to be fluorine. Fluorine atoms is not stable because it is not enough electrons. So sodium give away an electron to foreign, sodium become positively charged, whereas foreign receiving an electrons, it is negatively charged. So when these two bond together, it forms a new element. So where can we find natural ion naturally or get negative ion naturally? Okay, actually negative ions are molecules floating in the air or the atmosphere that have been charged with electricity. What does this mean? Atmosphere that have been charged with electricity. Because negative ion exist in nature in tons of places, which include ultraviolet ray from the sunlight, but it's not now in hot weather. This sunlight, this ultraviolet light are not negative ion. It's actually positive ion. So when there is an electrical discharge in the air, example, lightning strike, thunder, this ultraviolet ray from the sun being charged with electricity, they are converted into, their ions are converted into negative ion. That's if it's rain, you can measure the atmosphere that will have negative ion. But for a very short period of time, because negative ion cannot stay in the air for too long because the environment is full of positive ion. Positive and negative, they attract each other. When they do that, what happens? It neutralizes. When neutralized, there's no function or no feature at all. And it's not beneficial for us because our human body is needed is negative ion. Negative ion, if it's once able to reach our bloodstream, is believed to produce biochemical reaction that increase the level of mood chemical serotonin. It helps to elevate the depressions that we may face. It also at the same time relieve stress. It also boosts our daytime energy. So generally, negative ion increase the flow of oxygen to the brain, resulting in higher alertness, decreased drowsiness, and more mental energy. So when we say relieve stress, so if you happen to be near to a waterfall, a huge waterfall, all right, you will feel very fresh, you'll feel very distressed, all right? So because of negative ion. So negative ion is generated in large quantity as air molecules breaking apart from moving water, like rain, shower, river, crashing of waves, even fountain. Thus, the concentration of negative ion is greater in the atmosphere near moving water, like rainstorm, waterfall, rainforest, beaches are natural negative ion generator. Are humans positive or negative? Maybe some will say, no, we are positive. But some say, because negative ion is good for us, so we must be negative, right? Answer, yes. We are negative charge person. All right. Resting cell of our human body are negative charge on the inside, while the outside of our human body, which is the environment, are more positive charge. In the older time, if there is more rainforest, not so much concrete building, there will not be an imbalance of positive and negative ion. But with a country that is already in a development or developed stage, there will be more positive than negative ion outside of the environment, outside of the human being. Because the human being itself, the body, will can generate negative ion and positive ion. We are able to balance out this in our body through the name called free radical and antioxidants. So why are positive ion bad for human? Because we have so much electromagnetic field generated from computer, cell phone, and other electronic device that impair our brain function. That's why last time when most of us use Nokia phone or Motorola phone, we stay so close to our head, near ears, we want to listen. The electromagnetic field that pass the brain cell, it actually trigger us to be very high anxiety. Some people cannot breathe, feel difficult to breathe, or they feel fatigued. And there is a possibility of some people have headache, or we call migraine. All right. And some people, if exposed too much to electromagnetic field, this person may be feeling a lack of energy, that they need to sleep more, need to rest more. But because of us need to work, need to be at that environment, so we have no choice, but we are getting sick, more sick, if we do not know how to counteract all this information that we get, which is to know that we are bombarded with a lot of positive ion daily, day in, day out. So how can we be able to have more negative ion than positive ion? So from here, free radical is positive ion, which have not enough electrons. When it's not enough electrons, it's not stable. When it's not stable in the cell, it means that it is burning up, like a center of our core is very hot with all the lava. All right, it's energy not enough. You have to steal the energy, which is electrons from a cell that is healthy, that have enough electrons, that is stable. All right, by stealing an electrons, it causes the healthy atoms to be unstable, and this unstable cell will steal another electrons from another healthy cell. So this generates a chain reaction. But fortunately, our body is able to generate an antioxidant. An antioxidant is a cell or is an atoms that have extra electrons. So having extra electrons is able to give it to the free radicals, atoms, so that this chain reaction will not occur. Okay, so if we see a cell, a normal cell is like a healthy atoms. All right, if this normal cell is being attacked by free radical, it starts to decay. And if it continue to decay, in the end, it will die off. A dead cell is called oxidative stress. So it can never be able to have new cell if you do not know, or if our body are not able to generate more antioxidants itself, because there will be a limit. Our body can only generate free radicals and antioxidants at the same time, same volume to balance out. But our environment is having lots of free radical. So our body are not able to generate so much antioxidant to defend the free radical from the external of our human being. So we need the external also to have negative ions, negative charge ions, to help us, to defend us of the hostile environment of free radical. So why do negative ion matters to us human? because our human body are composed of approximately 37 trillions of cells. 37 trillions. But our cell will live a certain period of time, will die, and new cell will grow. And this process takes time. All right. So, and if this process takes time, so much free radical from the external will start to steal electrons from us, our body that have healthy cell. And this healthy cell, after being damaged because of losing of electrons, it will continue to be damaged, similar to a cancer cell. Starting from one cell, it will grow. Because it's not grow, it will affect other good cell, and other good cell will also affect other good cell. So it's a chain reaction. So in order to stop this chain reaction, we need to have more negative ion from external to help us, to protect us from all the free radical, which is positively charged, attacking our body. So over here, I have a diagram that shows the blue big color like a membrane covering a nucleus in the center like an orange jelly that have some ingredient inside. So this jelly, blue color jelly, is actually a membrane. And the free radical in this diagram is actually the red color dots. It is similar to a virus, the COVID-19 virus or the influenza virus. If you understand virus cannot reproduce itself unless you have a living host. A living host means this cell is a host. If it can hold on to the host, and if it can cause burn, it start to burn the membrane. It's like a fire torch. When you stuck to the membrane, it will start to burn the membrane. If you're able to burn through the membrane, this free radical will go into the membrane and start exploring itself inside, build up itself, build more, mutate more, and our membranes will die off because of decay in the membrane. So what does antioxidant do? Antioxidants will come and embrace itself into the free radical. I use the word embrace because it's like it's sucked inside. The free radical become like the nucleus in a cell. It embraces itself, and the free radical having negative ion, it will give the electron to the free radical. And this free radical, once receive electrons, it actually stable and it will not burn. All right. In virus format, or the formation of virus is actually called, we kill it. If you happen to come and look, saw the advertisement on the pain, the Nippon virus gut pain, whenever a virus attached to the pain itself, the surface of the pain having copper ion, this copper ion will suck out whatever the virus have. And in the end, the virus die off. But for antioxidant, what it do is convert, it allow the free radical to have an extra electrons. And having electrons, the free radical atoms is stable. When it's stable, it's not able to have a change reaction. So in the end, the free radical is like a antioxidants. So, and these antioxidants will protect the membrane of a good cell, and the cell will not decay and will not be oxidative stress. That means it will not die, but in its form, there is a lifespan of a cell, and this cell will die after his work is complete in our body, and it dies, a new cell will form, and this dead cell will be removed from our body through sweating, to detoxification. And if our body do not have detox or do not sweat, that means the toxin, the dead cell are accumulating inside. So we do not want this to do that because it's not healthy to us. Okay? So we need to have the function of detoxification. And if you are a believer of Chinese description, certain time of our body is the only time to detox, to clean, to cleanse, to rebuild. So these times are usually the times when we are resting. A person needs 8 hours of rest. And within these 8 hours, there are certain function is doing his job. If we do not have the 8 hours of rest, then our body may lack some may lack some nutrients, or may have problems, like we will feel stressed, we will feel unrest, we will feel tired. This is what it do when antioxidants or negative ion enter our body. It have a chemical reaction. So in our modern civilization, there is an ionic imbalance in the environment. We call it civilization disease. So what this disease is, that even in our normal condition, now in a house, in an aircon room, we only can get is anything less than 100 negative ion per cubic centimeter of air. Even in a park, a city park, we only can get less than 1,000. The only way to get more than 1,000 or 1,005, we have to go out to the countryside. Countryside, they have less concrete, but more greenery. We only get 1,005. But where can we get more? Mountain and seaside, we get about 5,000. Waterfall in natural rainforest will get about 50,000. Is it good enough for us human? Let's look at, there is a medical journal, Asian Medical Journal. It content say that negative ion in 1 cubic centimeter of air, that its benefits to our human body are, in order for us to have the natural healing power and improvement in chronic condition, all right, we need about 100,000 to 500,000 negative ion per cubic centimeter in the air. That is a lot, but it's not trillion. Just remember, our body is made up of trillions of cells. 500,000, not even a million. It's only 500,000. If we have 50,000 to 100,000, our body will have the function of killing germs, detoxification, deodorization. All right, if we have 5,000 to 50,000, then our immune system are able to strengthen and enhance. That is where we need. If 50,000 is waterfall in natural rainforest, do we have it in Singapore? Right? If we have 1,000 to 2,000, it's only give us a basic function to keep us healthy only. It does not give us the ability, our body ability to strengthen and enhance our immune system. Not just to say you can have natural healing power. All right, 50 and below, it have no function. It causes malfunction, because if our body temperature, do we all know what is the correct body temperature? It is between 36.5 to 36.7. It's only 0.3 degree. If we lose 1 degree different, it means that our body have lost an immune function of about 12%, 12 to 15%. Lost. Not gain, but lost, or don't work at all. Our immune system don't work at all. So that is what is more important. Human being will have natural healing power. And this natural healing power will prevent us to have chronic condition. So since knowing that this in natural negative ion, the only way we can get 50,000 is in a natural waterfall found in the rainforest. To get that, to be able to have natural healing power, what must we do? We need to travel far to huge waterfall. There are few waterfalls in the world, but with present situation of present crisis of the COVID-19 pandemic, there's no ability for us to travel. And we travel there, we need 24/7 every day. But we go there, only we can spend at most 12 days, 14 days. And every day you want to stay at the waterfall, but then you need to come back, you need to fly back, and then you have another time you're flying back. That is not enough. We need every day. So how can we get this every day and get even more to that? More negative ion, much more than the 50,000. Because most of us want to have that natural healing power. How can we get that? From here, the benefit of negative ion to human health is when we have more negative ion, our blood is clean. That's why we call purified blood. Our cell metabolism, or we call it metabolism, it helps us to maintain our body weight. Because whatever we eat in cell metabolism, it tells us that we absorb most of the nutrients from the food that we eat. And all the waste after burning off the nutrients in our body, we need to discharge the waste from the food that we eat. And this is also 100%. 100 in, 100 out. The cells are healthy and the cells are versatile and they are full of energy. That's why whatever we eat, the nutrient we absorb, we do not gain weight. Because if metabolism do not work, we will gain weight because we absorb how much nutrients, we cannot release the number of nutrients, the number of waste from the nutrients out. So our body start to accumulate unhealthy stuff in the body. And if we do not sweat, there is no detoxification effect. So if you have negative ion, it also enhance our immune system. Then when we in this pandemic, people who are confident that their body immune system are in good health and good condition, they have no worry. Even to wear a mask out, they have no worry. They can they maybe fall into one day, come to a place where too many people, too crowded. They just have to walk past it without any fear, without any ancient this that, oh, what happened if I have to pass through this and then the virus infected me? That'd be a big problem because if our body is saturated with negative ion, we will recover faster than anyone. And also the benefit of negative ions also help us to balance the autonomic nervous system. Okay, with all this understanding, I have done a lot of research and reading up. I come to realize that there's only one company that's able to produce negative ion in a form of a fabric material that is able to generate a huge amount of negative ion 24/7 if we wear it close to our body. All right, this company is actually NEFU. But NEFU is actually founded by Teijin. Teijin is a Japanese company that started in 1918. Their main product they make is fabric material. Fabric material used for firefighter, used for astronaut. All right, and so happen after they have ability to do research and development. In 1956, they're able to create a fiber material that create high negative static, which called Tavron. After this, they continue to do research on the fiber and continue to improve on the fiber. So the next generation of this fiber is Neuron, all right? It have the same functionality and added with brighter color, more color, and softer texture. And in order for Teijin to market this product, it found NEFU to be in marketing and manufacturing arm for these two high technology and high negative static fiber materials for the world. And NEFU have become the world market leaders in negative ion clothing. So NEFU was formed in 1972 in Japan. And in 1989, NEFU expanded its business to Taiwan. And in 2002 into USA, and 2005 into Hong Kong, 2006 in Malaysia, and of course, Singapore will not lose out. Singapore is also founded in 2010. And in 2014, NEFU became an international company, all right, having 600 to 700,000 users and members. And this user, after using the material and so trusting that the material give them, the fabric give them the wonderful negative ion they can have, give them good health, they form a team that using this team, their members start to tell other people, teach other people, and advise how to use the fabric for them to gain good health. This team is called Zheng Mei Success Team that is founded in 1993, which present time is already 27 years in the world, having more than 700,000 members and users to the product. All right, and in 2016, Malaysia, NEFU Malaysia, opened 2 more offices, one in Penang and one in Kuching. The office that is now and from the beginning, it is in KL, Kuala Lumpur. Why the NEFU materials are so wonderful? Because of its fiber have 4 very important features. This feature first is super heat insulation. This fiber with low heat conductivity is excellent for heat insulation, capability to prevent loss of body heat for consistent temperature. That means this material, simplified to say, it keeps our body temperature constant, and that is very important. It maintains our body temperature at 36.5 to 36.7. There are tests that has proven this point. The second one, it has the superior moisture permeability. This mostly all our material trap water in its fiber. And if water evaporates, it absorbs heat from the surrounding and also from the body, and causing our body to lower our temperature, body temperature, which is not good for us, because 1 degree difference on our skin, over the skin, the temperature, will cause us 12% of our immune system to be in malfunction. Neuron fiber does not absorb water, and it dries quickly, even when soaked in sweat, thus giving us that dry feeling over the skin, and we will feel comfortable. Thirdly, the fiber material have that excellent flame retardancy, because the fiber do not allow or contain the spread of fire flame. All right, because this material don't burn, that's why Teijin have the ability to make firefighter clothing. Fire clothing having this fiber also have the feature of firefighter function or feature. So the most highly recommended neuron clothing is our blanket. It's the neuron blanket, which this neuron blanket material have gained a recognition from the Fire Disaster Prevention Association of Japan. Because there is an incident that a house was burned, was caught fire, and a person is inside, happened to have the blanket. He uses the blanket, and this blanket helped him to escape from the burning house. The last but not least is the negative ion technology. Neuron fiber will always generate negative static electricity and negative ion through the friction by rubbing against our skin or other fiber material. Right, this negative ion technology will not be washed away. Even that this clothing or this blanket, we wash it thousands of times, it still is able to generate a large density of negative ion. Okay, I have come to my today presentation of an aptance of an element. So from now, you are basically understand what is an aptance and what is an elements, because we human beings are made up of elements from 11 type of element, which I mentioned in my presentation slide. So before I end today's session, I like to share with you my experience in the NEFU neuron fiber material. First of all, I'm wearing one now, all right? I've been wearing this for the since coming to 6 years. This clothing have been with me for the past 6 years. And for the past 4 years, I have not need to see or go and see the GP, the doctors. But 11 years ago, both my kneecap are wear off, and the doctors from the R hospital highly recommend that I need to do a knee replacement surgery, where each knee cost me 25,000, which I have turned down or do not accept it, because I have read in information that our body is able to self-heal, even though I am with a higher age. That was 11 years old. Now I'm 56. 11 years old age is 45, 44. All right. So I turned down the replacement surgery. And 6 years ago, before my retrenchment, the company doctors also told me that I will have stroke and high heart attack because of my body weight and my high cholesterol condition, also with sugar in the blood. What I did follow is to follow the doctor advice, is to moderate my food intake, to take care of the diet that I'm eat, and to do regular exercise. But if I do not have negative ion, my weight will not be down. If I do not wear the negative ion, if I do not know negative ion, able to do many things. Like example, if I constantly wear it, I'm able to lose weight. From 100 kilogram, I now presently about 80 kilogram. Okay, and my knee doesn't give me problems at all. All right, it doesn't feel pain, and there's no need for me to even to do the surgery. If then I accepted the surgery, then both my knee will lose the ability to self-heal, because there's no more natural ingredient, I would say. The bone cell, the muscle cell will not grow because that is an artificial knee. So all this is possible to be in a good, healthy body condition. All right, it's all because of NEFU, and I have to thank them to that are able to benefit from it, and able to learn so much, not just for myself. I also have it for my family. At presently, with this pandemic condition, my family, they have confidence that they don't have to worry what will happen. Of course, we follow the instruction to wear a mask, to clean our hands constantly, and make sure we have our social distance. For those who want to give it a try, this is something that is not by seeing. You must have to try and use it. All right. You can Google, or you can find those people who know negative ion. Example, you want to find, you can talk to me. I can share with you how you should use it. All right. And your loved one, you can share with your loved one, share with many friends, and everybody can benefit. Because for me, after knowing, feel so worried and so sad that all those friends, my good friend who leave this world without knowing negative ion, and people who have cancer, who do not believe it can cure. Because I have come across recently, on last year, there's a person with stage 4 cancer recover in 1 month from stage 4 to stage 2 because of the negative ion that this person accept to use, and he benefit from it. So I does not mean this is a medicine. This is not a medicine. This is a natural way that God, when God create us, He create us that have this ability. They give us this ability to heal. But in order to do that, we need people with high knowledge and technology to build, to invent, to develop such a product to give benefit to us human beings. So from here, you can watch a video, The Origin of the Element by Dr. Edward Murphy from YouTube or from Google. He will tell you about how we are formed, how the galaxy are formed, how atoms are formed. It's a very interesting video that teaches us about in the beginning how the galaxy are formed. So with this, I leave it to you to find, if you have another method to find to keep you in healthy, is good, because we're going to wait for another 2 years to see the vaccine, to maybe receive the vaccine, or during that time, until that time, we are so used to that this present new normal, that we need to have our social responsibility, our social distancing, our wearing masks when we are out or gathering with family or friends, and we have to keep ourselves clean. So with this, I have to say bye, and for the next recording, I'm planning for a new topic I want to share about. If not, I see you. All right, bye-bye.